Okay, we're going to start with number 25 on page 3 of the packet. It says, given the slope of a line passing through 2 and 8, what is the slope? So you just subtract the y's, which is 2 minus 2. You know it's going to give you 0. And subtract the x's, which is 8 minus 2 is going to give you 6. Okay, anytime the 0 is in the top, the slope is 0. So it graphs a horizontal line because the slope is 0. Number 26. What is the slope of a line containing these points? We're still going to subtract. So you subtract 8 minus 5, and that's the y's. 2 minus a negative 3 is the same as plus 3. So 8 minus 5 is 3, and 2 plus 3 is 5. So the slope here is 3 over 5. Number 27. Write the equation of the line going through points 2, 1, and 3, 4. So to write the equation, you're first going to have to figure out what the slope is. So when I subtract, I'm going to have 3 over 1. That's the same as 3. So the slope is 3. So m is 3. Now using point slope, I'm going to use one of the points. I'll use this one and plug in the point slope formula, which is y minus y1. The y1 is 1. Here's the y, equals m, which is the slope, which is 3, times x minus x, which is 2. So I'm going to distribute. 3 times x will give you 3x minus 6. And now at the beginning is y minus 1. Now I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So now we have y equals 3x minus 5. That is the equation of a line going through these points. That is the answer. Number 28, find the slope and the y-intercept of the line. So we already went over this before. So what is the slope? What is the m? The slope is negative 3. And the b, which is the y-intercept, is negative 20. Number 29, what is the inequality shown to the right? So we see here, what is x? X is less than. Open circle means it's no line under it. So it's just less than. Starting here, the number 3. X is less than 3. Now for 30, 31, and 32, it says solve the inequality and graph. So we see here x is greater than 5. So we pick a 5 anywhere on the number line, and we have an open circle, and it's greater than, shades. When x comes first, it always shades the way it's pointed. So the greater than sign is pointed this direction. That's the reason why I shaded this direction. 31, we will have to solve. So distribute, you get 3x minus 15 is greater than or equal to 4. Now we're going to add 15 to both sides. So we have uh, 3x is greater than or equal to 19. Okay, looks like this is not going to come out even, but that's okay. So, no, it's not a 15, that's a 5. It will come out even. I didn't see that. 5, not, well, yeah, and it's 15 because you multiplied 3 times 15. Okay, it is not going to come out even, but that's okay because I had to distribute. So now we divide both sides by 3, and x is greater than or equal to 3 will go into 19. 5 times 3 times 5 is 15. And, oh, 6. 3 times 6. Let me change this to 6, not 5. 18. So 3 will go into 19 6 times. And 1 left over, 6 and 1/3. So x is greater than or equal to 6 and 1/3. So on the number line, let's put it over here. I'm going to mark, say this is 6 and 1/3. So it's greater than or equal to, so I'm going to have to shade it in. And I'm shading the way it's pointed because the x came first. That's the answer. Give you time to copy that down. Now number 32. You're going to divide both sides by -6. That's by -6. So two negatives make a positive. So this time we're going to reverse the sign because we're dividing by negative. It's going to be less than +4. So do we shade, pick any type word on the number line and put your number, open circle, and shade the way it's pointed. Number 33. 3y minus 6x is greater than 3. We're going to graph inequality. Okay, first of all, we're going to move the 6x to the other side. So we have 3y is greater than a positive 6x plus 3. Now we're going to divide everything by 3. So now we have, cancel that out. We have y is greater than 2x plus 1. Okay, so our y-intercept is 1, so we're going to just mark it here. The slope is 2. Let's rise over run is the same as 2 over 1. So if I go up 2, I'm going to go over 1 and mark it. Or if I go down 2, I'm going to go over 1 and mark that. So we're going to connect our lines. Okay, so that is our graph. I always put arrows on the end. Number 34. It's already in y equals, so we can just go ahead and graph that. So we go down to -3, 1, 2, 3, and mark that. And our slope is -4. So if we go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you go down, you got to go over to a positive direction because it is a negative slope. And if I go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, I'm going to go over in 1 in a negative direction. So it's a pretty steep slope here. So now I'm going to connect the dots here. And this is the graph. Number 35. It says fill find x. Okay. So we know this is a 90-degree angle. Okay. So we want to find what, and we know the whole thing is 180, right? So we know that both of these angles, since it is a 36, it's a 45-45 triangle, so we know that if this is a 90-degree triangle, then these must be 45 and 45. So this would be 90 degrees also. So we're going to set these to equal to 90. So we're going to have 13x minus 14 equals 90. Next, we're going to add 14 to both sides. So we have 13x is equal to 104. Or sorry, yes, 104. And divides both sides by 13. So x is equal to 8. Looking at number 36. Okay. So we know that exterior angles is equal to the sum of the two remote interior from the rule. And so we look at 335 plus x equals 97. Now we're going to minus 35 on both sides. X is equal to 62. Starting at this number, if a transversal crosses two parallel lines at corresponding angles are congruent, goes in this blank. And alternate interior angles are congruent. Congruent goes in both blanks. So you don't see the first part of the problem, but you have it on your paper. 38. The measure of vertical angles are equal. The measure of supplementary angles equal 180. And the measure of complementary angles equals 90. Okay, we're going to skip this one. Skipping 42. 43, it says triangle ABC is congruent to DEF. Okay, so DF, this is in front, is congruent to AC. So you can know it's congruent because of how it's arranged here. So DF, D is first and last. So AC is first and last. Look in the order. And it says that CAB is congruent to, you have C, AB is congruent to EFD. So look at the order. The C came first and it corresponded with the E. And then the next one was the A, which is corresponding to the D. And then the next one is the B, which corresponded to the E. So that should be triangle FDE. It should be FDE. So if you look at the corresponding ones, so you're saying that your CAB, so C is the last one. It's going to correspond to the F, which is the last one. Then you have D is the first one. It's going to correspond to, I mean, the CA. A is the first one. It's going to correspond to the D, which is the first one. And B is the middle one. It's going to correspond to the middle one. So that is F, so you can read it, D, E. And the last one at the bottom is angle B congruent to angle E. So we're not going to do all the ones on this side, but it's the same situation. LK, those are the first two initials. It corresponds to LB. Okay, and so if you look at the next one, which is B, LM corresponds to LA, and BA corresponds to KM. Okay, I want you to do the rest of this a little later to be turned in for a grade. Do not take your phones out yet. I have a visual I want you to see.